The Woe of Roanoke, Book 4, Dimmock's Yellow Diary. Half a crew, no wind blew, both boats were lagged in loiters. Lazy, for the spirits knew, chastisement for exploiters. We went from utter idleness to wild and wet ware storms, most sagged in sickened lifelessness, like dolls in human forms, like men morphed into mannequins, pus coughed from corrupt lungs, like the strangled cut from scaffoldings with scurvy blooded gums. And I could barely hold my quill, those terrored months returning, for the ghost crow sat upon my sill and stated I'd be burning. And still the swine swept the seas, sniffing round for spoils, scorned poor shipmates with disease, those swabs with swollen boils. With ailing cries the undead scratched for weeks upon my door. Morbid magpies sought my stash till sighted Blighty's shore. And men were dead and more were dread to find some similar fates. And White had fled when Spicer said he'd lost near half his mates. I went to bed when I hit my stead once past those city gates. I sought my bed, though through my head foreboding fluctuates. I stayed in bed or prayed in church and bathed in holy water. Bed or church sat on a perch, the ghost crow sat in squawker. Haunt me not, devil bird, thou with a glower of bill, with thy auburn hair and sadist stare, sat there on my sill. Begone and come back nevermore, you rub me raw with your cursing core, your eyes of moss and cinnamon mane, your bluish blush as if woad stain. I wish ye gone, ye phantom bane. No cajoling, no reward could see me back again on board, nor Raleigh's title guarantees perchance to meet Mephistopheles. The painter White was pinched in pain and daily got more frantic. The war with Spain had squashed his aim to cross a quick Atlantic. By and by, over and over and over yet, White to return did try, but Britain lost all interest. She'd found fatter fish to fry. Cold dread sweats here in my bed, I petrified at stuff crow said, solidified from toe to head, a screaming statue cast in lead. In dreams we be an ant colony, tortured by Teal Titan, a fiend from Greek mythology, an age this vision frightened. Bill's blue head, not ears but wings instead, trampled by his giant tread, and everywhere we hid Bill sees us, replacing his with a viz of Jesus. Bicy eyes were stone and starey, my antennaed eyes forever wary. I dream him flapping, fornicating Mary. How to halt rapes of the Virgin, while seeping sanity was blurring. Heaven weeping, whilst I sleeping, imagining the ghastly reaping, the harvesting, and then the eating of the souls that we'd forsaken by the freak that we'd had taken. O blasphemy, O heresy, these acts I see are haunting me. I pray him dead across the sea, to perish and to set me free. Good Lord, what had we gone and done? I'd burn for bringing Satan's son. I fret, but return for my redemption. I need survive, top up my pension. Then Lisbeth called to serve the war. Rich men could pay, she'd arm the poor, and still the ghost crow at my door squawked hateful sounds more and more. More and more crow's murderous caw, from months to years outside my door, louder now than he before, foul demon from cruel days of yore. Too rich, no wish to join the militia, I'd fight not Palmer's army. A Spanish pike couldn't have pricked my sight like a petrifying journey. So I paid most of my pension to stay at home, flat broke, twisting at night intention about the Roanoke. I twisted, nor no business, no income from my stores, and I damned to hell as witness the desecration of those foreign shores. With Philip's armada firmly beat, ships released from off the fleet, who should come upon my street? He, with planned new expedition, White rose me from my chamber prison. I rose, composed a holy quest, rose for my financier. A sainthood waited, I to be blessed, when slayed that necromancer. We sailed in spring in the Hopewell, the name was apt for White. My spirit soared as parallel sailed Spicer in moonlight. A fortune rallied, personally paid, to impress the haughty heir of Berlin. I sought to return to crusade, White to contact his kin. 3 fraught years, sheer panic, shedding tears, pacing, pleading, every day got harder. The missing leader, father, grandfather, refused return to stock their larder. The stress was mighty on White's health, a shadow now of his former self. Coughing, sniffing, limping, aching, his heart 3 years of straining, breaking. Bright-eyed again as we were making waves to way with fresher hope, wending back to Roanoke. The return was mild, the weather fairer, set detours for our ships to plunder. I was wired to right our error, White gaunt, gripped in hopeful wonder. Gripped in hopeful wonder, but he anxious and irate, for the pirates' pursued plunder. John White could hardly wait, his people all torn asunder, keen to find out what their fate. And then we spied a plume of smoke, 2 rowboats rowed to Roanoke. Brave Edward led, who on top form saw he not the sudden storm. Catastrophe, what alchemy had mixed this evil gale? We yelled to turn the tragedy, yelled to no avail. The sea was like a living snake in wreathing, writhing twist. It coiled and dipped, and in its wake there sprayed a blinding mist. A cloaking, blinding mist, I wist, it enveloped in its covers, revealed when neared, much as I feared, drowned Spicer and 6 others. As Spicer shone his sodden grave, I sucked in sick and swound. I wished it White in swallowed waved, for tarnished those around. White pressed proceed, and Coke agreed, time not for terse bereaving. To land at noon, to flute the tune, green sleeves, perhaps a receiving. More merry English tunes were struck to tempt those with nerves asseared. But White again was out of luck, for not a soul appeared. Nor not a soul came to our shore, for cannon's echoed blast. So walked we did to where before, 3 years before had passed. We walked the old familiar way, no man dared speak a word, for dank and dismal felt that day the fort sat a black bird. The settlement forsaken, the dwellings were dismantled. White screamed loud in desperation, and all of us stood rankled. Where art thee, girls? Where did ye go? Lord, pity on the pious. There shadowed him a spectral crow. Where at, O Ananias? What was this sign carved on a pine, this cryptic crowed of crow? Bedam my beard, for that black bird it cruel appeared to know. It looked me on its callous eyes, I startled stiff in fright. It conjured, blustered, bruising skies to drain me of my fight. I drained of every inch of fight, bled from that fearful phantom. I fled in throttled, fearful flight to the Hopewell sanctum. The clouds were crows with boiling wings, and thunder rolls called hateful things, and wind-whipped rigging sang a song as we dipped and crashed and bobbed along. Green sleeves, the gable's crooked tune, ghastly green, I fell in swoon. Miles, sweet miles when I awoke, relief as miles from Roanoke. We skated still on sea-churned foam, but, sweet Lord, we headed home. The men pressed home, or mutiny. It shattered John White's soul. He slumped in distressed scrutiny, sucked dry by squandered goal. Shattered as so near, so far, he'd die a broken wreck. I'll sit at home with chill memoirs to save my snake-bit neck. 'Tis Satan and that stormy sea keeps me inside my gown. I'll venture for not any fee, not leave my London town. I'll pray, but stay here in my cot, pray God sharp shoots his bolt. Pray God would lightning strike the rot, forgive this mission's fault. I'll pray away my weakness, pray all evil we'd at cess, dinna strew a blanket bleakness on that virgin land out west.